everybody. This is Christopher Michaels here.
So, good morning, Dave.
Hey.
Hi, Jeannie.
On our way to go skydiving. Well, she is, in fact. I'm not jumping out of a damn airplane.
So, what are we doing today? Or what are you doing more, I guess I should say, because I'm not doing it.
So, Melina, what makes you want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane on such a beautiful day?
Well, it is a beautiful day, but there is no such thing as a perfectly good airplane.
It's a beautiful day for it.
The way I know you is through Dave Black. Dave is a friend and fellow adventurer of mine. Which of the two of you concocted this, and how did it come about? Was it a bar bet or paper, rock, scissors, or we all just sitting around and decided to do it? How did this happen?
Well, actually, like I said, I've been wanting to do it for a long time. Jeannie and I had planned on doing this last year, but with the whole COVID thing, it didn't happen.
I was peer pressured into this.
And who's joining you on this big adventure today? Who is the peer pressure the instigator and the lead peer pressure person?
Usually I'm the lead shenanigator.
You are.
And in this particular case, I'm not the lead shenanigator.
You are not? I find that hard to believe.
It's Melina.
It's Melina.
Mel, my co-host from Dave and Mel Give It a Go.
I don't think I've been planning it. I think it was suggested by Melina, and I just said, yeah, I'll go.
I've been wanting to do this since I was in elementary school. It's a bucket list for me, and I'm finally at a place in my life where I can, and so therefore I shall. But I'm dragging people down with me. So we've got Jeanne Ford coming along, and of course my co-host Dave Black on Give It a Go. The three of us are gonna jump out and hope that we don't poo ourselves.
Yeah, she's wanted to do this for a long time, and she's like, let's do it. I'm like, how can you say no to that, right? So anyway,
and she's just so darn cute, so you have to say yes to her no matter what she asks you to do.
And then she's like, oh, here's how much it costs. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
Oh, by the way.
Oh man, lucky she's cute.
I know.
Oh my God.
Dave is obviously one of the fastest men alive. He is on his way to go do Dakar. He is a fantastically brave human being.
I mean, I like the idea of going really fast. That'll be kind of fun.
Alexa, turn on kitchen lights.
Shadow.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Whatever you say, Dave.
She seems so willing to please you.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Mel. Hey, Jeannie.
Hi, Dave.
World meet Jeanne Ford. Jeanne Ford, meet the world.
Hi, world.
We are doing a special edition of Give It a Go this evening because we all three experienced an awesome time together skydiving a few weeks ago, and we thought we would come together and kind of share the experience and encourage any of you schmucks to jump out of a plane as well.
You convinced this schmuck to jump out of a plane. So.
And that one, but there was no arm twisting with this one, and there wasn't with you either. You were game. You were giving it a go.
I just because you're cute.
Oh my God.
It happened.
Dave.
But that's how it always works.
Oh my God.
And if anything bad is going to happen on the parachuting trip, I'd rather it be going down with Melina.
It's as my old friend Amy, and I don't mean, well, she is old. She's my age, but oldest friend, I would assume. Amy once said that she would never do anything dangerous or precarious with me because it's just too good of a headline that childhood best friends die in blah together.
Right.
We don't care.
Okay.
So anyway, as everyone saw before we came on, there was some individual videos of us being interviewed by our friends or significant other or mom. And not that you're my mom, your mom interviewed you. Just want to make that clear. Not unless you look like Christopher, which I don't think you do. No. By a long shot. Nonetheless, we had those, and it kind of gave you an idea of the up lead as to where we were going. And so, Dave, how was it for you?
It was awesome. So my whole thing was just, like I went there, I'm trying to be kind of just stoic and kind of say, oh yeah, this is just something I'm going to do, whatever, whatever, whatever. Try to downplay the whole thing.
You did. Your interview, you're like, yeah, it's like get my nails done.
Yeah. So, here I am trying to kind of play it cool. And we're sitting there getting the liability briefing, which is talking about how many ways we could die. And Mel looks over and she shows me her heart rate, and it's like way above 100 at this point. And I'm sitting there like,
I was excited.
68.
There's 50 ways to die doing this.
I'm like, mine's a 68. It's like, take that. And so I'm like, okay, so now it becomes now challenge on. I'm going to go ahead and try to keep my heart rate as low as I can for the rest of the time. And, we kind of start working our way out to the point where we get on the shuttle bus and we start going towards the plane. And then, we get on the plane and we're flying. They open up that door and the wind and everything. And all of a sudden I'm like
scared about that damn ladder. I mean, that ladder was.
What ladder?
The ladder to get on the plane. Yeah, what ladder? Right. It was like 5 skinny rungs that you could slip through and die on the tarmac.
Oh, didn't notice. But anyway, it's like all of a sudden it's like I feel something in my gut kind of going, and so I'm like, okay, what's my heart rate now? It was at 84. So it had gone up about 20 points at that point. But I'm like, okay, breathe. Just keep it cool. It's all good. And, and what also was cool was before I got on the plane, the guy came up to me and he goes, hey, because I guess I was acting so cool. He was like, yeah, I need to get this guy a little something, huh? Right. So he walks up to me and he goes, hey, man, you want to do a backflip out of the plane? And I'm like, yes, I do. So anyway, he goes, okay.
Gorgeous.
So he's like, this is how you have to do it. This is how we're going to do it. You're going to step out backwards. You're going to, you're going to push off with your left leg and all that. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. So, but anyway, I'm just kind of just chilling there. And what's really funny is when looking at the video, it's like this look on my face. It's like, no, I mean, it's not that. It's like, it's more like, sort of like, anyway.
Yeah, there was some fear there.
There was to be honest, I don't think it's possible to actually not have some fear going on, and it just, what was that long, prolonged climb up in the anticipation. We were
talking about that before we started recording, that, I mean, she was looking at the altimeter on her wrist and thinking, wow, we're really high, but it was only at 3,000 feet.
Well, I didn't even, it was so dumb because I'm thinking, well, how high are we? How close are we to getting to the point of jumping? I didn't even, dummy. It's like, it's right on I had the thing on my wrist. I could have looked.
I was watching it the whole time,
Oh, I don't know if that would have helped me or hurt me, but, when they finally got to the point where we were about to go and,
let's back up a bit because that ride up to 14,000 feet. So it's circle, almost rocket up. Circle, almost right. I mean, I was waiting for that stall horn constantly. I was blown away at that plane being able.
I think to climb that was impressive. It was, and that part of it was actually really kind of fun. Like the takeoff, he just went straight up. It was
right. Well, I don't know if you heard me, but as soon as the wheels took off, I yelled out, "Rotate!" Because that's what it's called when you take off. You rotate. Never mind. I'll explain the physics. But anyway, I was excited. I was like, rotate. And the pilot, knew that I knew what I was talking about. And he kind of reached over and, to my guy that I was attached to. I thought I was like, yeah, okay. Anyway. So the ride up was exciting is my point.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And he opened up that door to cool the plane off and, you felt it getting
No, they did that to scare us.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he just wanted some fresh air, and then he closed it for a while, and then he opened it back up when it was time to go. So anyway, so he opens it back up. It looks like it's time to go. I was going to be the first one out, and anyway, so we kind of wiggle our, the guy. First of all, the guy starts strapping me in super tight. Like he really gets that cranked up and make sure that everything is tight again. It's like, okay, it's time to go. And so it's like kind of shuffled my way with this guy behind me. And, we get out to the edge of the door.
Very intimate.
Very intimate. And and I think he just pointed down, like, go, you know, and all of a sudden I'm just like, whoosh, and just kind of like, and did the thing where it's like, I just had to kind of grab and kind of, you know, tuck back. And I saw, you know, I saw the plane, you know, as, you know, kind of disappearing off, you know, into the, you know, as we start to flip upside down, and really we just did like one flip and immediately flattened out. It was pretty cool. And then
it was beautiful. I mean, you saw the video.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. It was a perfect rollout. You did so good.
Oh, thanks. It was cool. And so, yeah, so we immediately just got into this like position. And, you know, I'd always wondered, you know, what that is like, you know, because you see all these videos, it's like, is it literally just like a little movement will make you move around? Is it really unstable? It's really not. Your body position is just you just kind of fall into a natural position that makes you fall straight. Now, again, I had a guy on my back who was also controlling it too, so I don't know how much of it was me,
but sore the next day.
But you know, the thing that was cool about it was, you know, he did a rotation with us, and, you know, my hands were out and he kind of did it with my hands. And then I just started doing it, and he put his hands in. And later on, he said that he said, you know, he goes, I just let you take over because you were doing great. And I was like, oh, cool. So, you know, I rotated right, rotated left, did a little dive thing. And, you know, and he said that that's in the second time, the next jump that I do will actually have you do those types of maneuvers. So that was kind of cool. You know, and it's, you know, we're just falling, and it's all kind of like getting it all in, just windy. There's not really a sensation of falling. But it's,
you know, that said it was basically like GPS with a fan in your face, or Google Earth with a fan in your face.
Oh, it's like, yeah, it's like looking at Google Earth with a fan in your face. That's what it's like.
So was.
It really was. So yeah, so just to anyone out there, it's not the falling isn't scary. It's probably, I guess, if you get a little too close to the ground, things will start to get scary. It's that first step is really the scary one.
That's right. You experienced the same. So
yeah.
Jeanne, how was yours? I mean,
you know, I think it was great. The one thing that I have to say made me a bit nervous is you two keep talking about the guys strapped onto the back of you. I had a girl strapped onto the back of me. She had a concern about different sizes and making it, you know, fit here and not rupture anything here. But she's like, you're so tiny, and I just want to make sure you don't fall out. And I'm going, oh dear God, yeah, let's do that. And so I stopped counting at 14 when she was doing the adjustments in the plane. And finally I was in a corset. I really couldn't breathe. And she's like, are you breathing okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great. Couldn't breathe for shit. But I didn't care. I didn't want to fall out. So yeah, I'm like you, Dave. I got to the edge and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And then I thought about this girl. But yeah, no, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And
but you took control as well in your fall.
Mine was, once the fall was great. And when they pulled the chute, I literally thought I was shooting back up to the airplane. I mean, because it slows you down.
That was rough, wasn't it? Was it rough for you? Because that was violent on mine. My legs went everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little nerve wracking. You know, we hit that point, and I'm looking at my meter, and he kind of points at the meter, and I my eyes are on it, and all of a sudden I just reach back and I grabbed the thing and pulled it. And then, you know, it's just, there's a little moment after you pull it where things aren't really happening. The next thing you know, it's just this, you know, the violence is there, you know. And I think maybe because I'm a little bit heavier than a lot of people, that how they calibrate that to help me cover. Yeah. So I probably, you know, we descended faster than everybody because I'm heavier. So that was, it was kind of clear that it probably was less violent for me just because it wasn't, just because my weight probably kept pulling us down a little bit. But But that was a cool point, and we started kind of flying the parachute, and he had me, doing the stuff, and he had me, we yanked this really high G-force turn. And oh man, it's been so long since I've been on amusement park rides that my stomach was just, I was like, and I'm like, oh, and then it's like, all right, let's go to the left. It's like, whoa, we spun around the other way. And again, we, swung up, and I'm like, my stomach is like, and then,
well, she made her jumper sick.
I did.
She didn't get queasy. She made her attached person queasy.
She's like, okay, pull on the right. And so I started pulling down.
If you can't tell, she had an Australian accent.
She was from UK, lived in New Zealand as well as Australia.
So yeah, there's that mix.
Combination. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, I was counting at 10, and I mean, my feet were lateral. We were like, woo, woo. And I was like, awesome. This is so fun. And she's okay, pull on the other, and so I started doing it the other way. I didn't want to straighten out. And then she's like, I'll take it from here. And so
leave it to Jeanne to cross the line at everything.
Then she told me, she's like, we've got too many people around to, worry about. And I'm like, no, it's just Dave and Melina. I mean,
well, there were the other blokes as well.
I wasn't thinking about that.
Well, they don't matter anyway.
So, he finally said, okay, now pull really hard and hold it, and we did, and he did a few of those flat plane turns or whatever you call it, where it just, and I mean, I'm like, I mean, it was so much fun. It was so much fun, but my stomach was just kind of going up in me, and it was it's just, I'm like, oh my gosh, when did this age? Is this the I've never used to have
self-preservation while you still have it.
Well, anyway, but like I said, we were falling pretty fast, and he pointed out where we needed, we pointed out where we needed to land, and I I was asking him, I said, from which direction? He goes, well, look at the arrow, and sure enough, up down on the ground there's this huge arrow of which way you're supposed to approach towards the target that they had set up. Yeah, and so we started kind of coming down, but not really on that perfect angle. I mean, I tried to steer us a little bit, and I think he was just like, he just pointed us straight towards the target. And we were so high at that point, I'm like, man, are we gonna, we're either gonna we're gonna have to drop really fast and do it, or we're gonna, come up really far, is kind of what I thought. But I think he had us, really kind of like letting it fly down really fast, because right as we started getting near that target, then it's just yanked it, or he had me actually do the big yank and kick my legs up and stuff, and we kind of slid into the target there, but then it was just like, oh my God, that was kind of crazy, pretty cool. So
it was. So I paid to have it filmed. Mm-hmm. And so when he said, I really wanted to go first. Because I was being filmed, I had to go last. And that was the last thing I wanted to do, was to go last, because I'm watching all of y'all going, oh, fucking hell. So it was just prolonged. And so we get to the side, and there's Gabe, who is the camera guy. We are, he will be our next podcast, by the way. And he's hanging on the edge. I mean, he's just outside the plane, just hanging on, does it all day long. Nothing to him. And so then we jumped out, and I closed my eyes on the step off of the plane. Because that was, as you guys were saying, that was the scariest part. And I don't know why closing my eyes would have made any damn difference. Mm-hmm. But I closed them, and then it's and I noticed immediately that we were level. So like, she dove out, you backflipped out, and we just kind of gradually fell out. And the reason why they did that is because he was filming, so he has to fall with us. So I didn't get well, it was exciting, but I didn't get the exciting that you guys had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so next time for sure. But so when I noticed that we were nice and steady, opened my eyes, it was only like a second. And then then here he comes, in my face, just like 5 feet in front of me, filming. And you have to smile and do all these things. I mean, not that I wouldn't have naturally and was naturally anyway, but when you're being filmed, there's no time to go, oh, by the way, I just crapped myself, or anything like that. You have to stay focused. So I didn't get, even though we did do the turns and things like that, but also too, he's Billy's friend. And so he was taking extra special care of me. And then also because Gabe is there, we can't play around much because you've got another individual right in front of you. So it was a very controlled fall. It was very cold. My ears were freezing on the way down, freezing. And we did this in September, and the Georgia September is not cold. So yeah, my ears were freezing. And here's a word to the wise, to everyone: take some kind of sinus medicine, not one that's going to make you sleepy or ramp you up, but take some kind of sinus medicine before you go up, because I didn't know it, but I had a sinus infection that had zero symptoms, and that rapid descent messed me up for 2 weeks. I couldn't hear anything out of this ear for 2 weeks, and it was because of that. When I went and got antibiotics for it, it cleared it right up. So I know that's what it was. It's not the jump. It was that combination. So, and that's something that nobody ever said or that I saw online. So here's your Tuesday tip, people.
For all you first-time skydivers out there.
Right. That's right. Or going forward, because you never know. But I remember telling him, I was like, my ears are freezing. And he was like, blow through your nose. I said, no, they're not clogged. They're freezing. And then once we pulled that cord, I don't know if it was the angle I don't know what the hell it was happening, but all I know is that my left leg was around my right ear. That was the worst part. That was worse than getting off, was the wow, and then I was doing some yoga I've never done in my life. But it was amazing. And of course, I'm exaggerating because it was probably one of the most fun things that I've ever done. And the landing was super smooth. And they really did. I mean, we joke, we kid, but they really did go out of their way to take extra precautions and care of all of us. They made it an exciting, adventurous fall. And it was so good that all 3 of us signed up to do it again. Absolutely. Prepaid. We're doing it again in the spring, please.
Yes, it's going to be the spring at this point because it'll be too cold. But here's the funny thing about the buying that extra session. Immediately afterwards, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to do another one.
That's how I felt at first.
So what got
me straight to it? She went straight to it. She's like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Well, what got me was the fact that the second one, when he was saying, he goes, well, in the second one, we actually test you on maneuvering and how you control it. And he goes, and then on the third one, you don't have anyone on your back on the third one. You have, they'll jump out with you, and and so
that's where I draw the line right there.
But I was like, okay, this whole idea now, it was no longer just the experience of free falling at that point. It's the experience. It was actually this, for me, it's this whole idea of, okay, they're going to test. It's like challenge accepted, because I like that aspect of it. But it was funny because they, that was the thing they kept saying. They said, we're not here to just give people experiences. We're a school. And so you took your first lesson. Now your second one is going to be that you control yourself in the air, and
we should have been better prepared. Do you have your little flight book?
I don't even know where it. Oh shoot!
Mine's up in the bedroom, but they do. It's just like flying lessons. They give you a flight book so that you record every drop you do. It's the same with flying lessons. It's every flight that you do. and it shows, what maneuvers, where you were, that kind of thing. So I thought that was really, really cool.
It was, yeah, and this place was top notch, and it was funny because earlier in the summer, Michelle and
Spaceland, Atlanta.
Earlier in the summer, we were coming back from motorcycling, and I saw a sign for skydive schools, and I'm like, hey, let's go just look and see what's going on up there, and it was this other place in Rockmart at this other airport that operated right out of the airport. And we went there and they had like RVs and tent, like not just tents, but then these people had children too. So it was kind of like a whole weird kind of hippie community with, kids running around who are dirty with no shoes on and stuff. and then everyone else looked like they had been tweaking on meth or something. And it's like what I'm picturing is like these are probably like trust fund kids who are like they don't have to earn anything and they just hang out and do this all the time. It was really weird. And
Billy validated that, if you'll
remember. He did. Yeah. I mean, they look like drug abusers, and it was this weird kind of carnival environment, like carny environment kind of people. The instructor, it was interesting because it looked like, it was a legit school. It's just that it looked like maybe they were a little less expensive or something. And therefore they had these people who just sort of camped out and lived there. And I did notice that at Spaceland, they had a sign that said, you're not allowed to live there more than a certain number of nights or something. There was some kind of a limit to, so they don't, there's
I wonder
clearly.
if that applies to their employees though, because Gabe has a tent there.
No, I don't think so. But what I think it is that in the skydiving world, there are probably some places that it's probably very common to be able to go to different parts of the country and just camp out and live at a dive, at a whatever you call it,
dive resort. Let's call it a dive resort.
Very far from a resort. I call it dive resort. You have your oxygen tank on your back. So.
Anyway. Okay.
But yeah, it was
be the next one.
But I was very relieved when we got to Spaceland because it was very cool. Like it was, the way, really nice property, very good facilities.
Beautiful too, really pretty.
Yeah, it was really, really pretty facility. It was kind of nice that it wasn't at an airport. And despite the fact they had their own little grass runway that they could shuttle their plane over to the airport. But that was kind of fascinating to me that they picked us up in a bus, took us over to the airport, and then we landed there. So that was kind of cool.
That was. Christopher's uncle works at that airport.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Crazy. So small world.
Yeah, very.
But no, it was a lot of fun, and I'm so glad that we're going to do it again. And it was I have to give a backstory too, because before we did this, and I was telling my husband, who refused to go because he didn't want to see his wife splat in the field. So I think he'd rather just hear about it. I get it. Yeah. But I was letting him know, no, they're going to give us this instruction video for like an hour, and we're going to have all this. He goes, okay, you're going to be with Jeannie and you're going to be with Dave. Please pay attention, because I know when you guys get together, it's going to be mayhem and chaos. Please pay attention to the video. This is very important. And I'm like, oh, absolutely. No, I mean, I don't want to die either. No, absolutely. What the fuck did we do?
I don't think we remembered anything from the video.
We were cutting up the whole stinking time.
Hey, it was the liability video. It's the one where the guy who invented tandem skydiving comes out and talks about how you could die. So it was like,
paid attention. I mean,
I paid enough attention to realize what they were saying.
We were talking about everything from sex to goats. I mean, sex with goats. I don't know.
No. Well, it was because on the video,
we were laughing at everything. Oh yeah, because of the couple.
Because the video, the couple on the video were acting like it was this guy with his student, and it's like as soon as they walked in.
Yes, that's what I said. So Dave, you were saying, oh, they gonna fuck.
Oh, they're
and she and I were like, they've already been fucking.
They've already been doing it. So. It was kind of obvious. They had a connection.
She's like,
Uh-huh.
Lay your head on my shoulder.
I think we know what our little poster is on the front of this YouTube poster image.
that was so messed up. That was so messed up. And we're all cutting up about the scale as well. I'm like, yeah, I weighed in at this.
I was like, yes, I took 2 pounds off my weight.
I got charged. I got charged
I know,
extra.
you went over.
Yeah, and so that was actually a little bit of a surprise. It's that if you weigh a little bit more, they end up paying the guy you jump with a little more. And they said, oh yeah, we charge more based on your weight if you're above a certain weight. Like I was above 220, and so they're like,
because it's an increase in their risk.
I think it is. I think for the guys who are diving, it makes it harder. So I mean, that's
imagine
fair.
because it's just more to leverage and move
Yeah.
around. They should have charged her more for.
Hey, we were in the same suit. It just
No, we were not in the same suit.
well,
We were in the
Just
same.
keep on going into a dive. Like, it's like, I don't know why. I just keep on wanting to lean forward.
that's why I dove out of the plane because I was top heavy going over.
That's it. I was just hoping that if things broke loose, I'd land on her.
Or was there just more surface area for drag, so therefore it actually went the other way? Maybe. We need to do a wind tunnel with you, Jeannie. We need to figure a wind tunnel. We need to figure this whole thing out.
I know. I'm really trying to. It's like trying to tuck down and trying to get my helmet down. So when I'm riding, I've really got to find that perfect. Because there's a little gap of air that just can't get it, man.
All right.
There it is. Well, that's our experience. And coming up, you'll get to see the actual professional video that Gabe took, of which we are very grateful. Really awesome footage and interviews with the three of us. And it was just such a really amazing time, especially to do it with two of my best friends. And I'm looking forward to doing this with you guys again.
Likewise.
Yes.
I won't do it without her.
Oh, and we're not doing it without Dave.
Nope. It's all good.
And then someone special will be coming along with us next time, I hear.
I think we're gonna get Michelle to go too, which will be kind of fun. But she also wants her son to go too, so then that ends up making the numbers too high for all of us at the same time. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. So we'll see. Maybe I might have to be in another plane with them. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, listen, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy the video. We're not going to do the toast tonight because this is a special edition and it's not over until the fat lady falls out of a plane.
There you go.
Thanks and good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
the oil sea, how are you feeling out there? What do you think of the view?
It's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful day for skydiving.
It's so good. Just a few clouds, maybe we'll dive when we're going.
It's gonna be great. How are we feeling over here?
Fabulous. Wondering what the hell I'm doing up here every day.
You look ready to do this. Let's go skydiving.
You know what? It makes a great headline. Two best friends go skydiving. That's what we're on the mountain.
Couldn't get better than that. That's awesome. All right, let's go skydiving.
How? The best.
No, I love doing the spin.
How was it?
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Right?
Oh my God!
So fun.
I love this girl. Get in here.
All right.
Yay.
Wasn't that awesome? That was
Oh my
awesome.
God,
Congratulations,
that was
guys.
fucking amazing.
Right?
Not even awesome.
I can't hear a thing out of this here.
Oh, yeah.
It'll get better.
Oh, man, that was so much fun.
Right here. The
Dude.
man.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear.
Congratulations, Melina. You did amazing.
Thank
You were
you
super
did amazing.
chill.
You came right up. And, hey, this guy's the bomb.
Oh,
Dave's the
thank
bomb.
you.
Came right up.
Will you guys do it again?
Absolutely. We're
Absolutely,
fucking
right?
signing up today before
Yeah,
we
that's
Are you
so
kidding
good.
me?
Well, we'll hope to see you
love you
again
so
up
much.
there.
I
I was
love
really
you.
happy to be part of this.
Thank you so
So
much.
let's
You're
do it
the
again.
best. Mwah.
See you next time.
Bye. Thanks, guys.